I'm going too fast for you guys during these videos. Please pause the video, rewind the video, fast forward the video, whatever it is that you need to do. I want you guys to be able to use this tool to help you. Do not feel like I'm rushing you through something. I want you to take your time and make sure you hit the pause button if you need it. All right, going ahead and getting started. Today we're focusing some more on division. Yesterday we focused on division with groups of 10. So I'm going to go ahead and have you guys pause the video and write down what I have here for my warm-up, and then when you're ready, hit play and we'll go over everything for you. All right, so now that you guys have written everything down, hopefully you guys have went through and answered the first 3 warm-up questions. Before we answer those 3 warm-up questions, I just want to bring your attention up here to some vocabulary that I'm going to be using. Now that we're diving into division, it's really... Sorry guys, not enough coffee, I guess. It's really important that we use the proper terminology. So the first number in a division problem is called the dividend, okay? The second number in a division problem, use a different color here. The second number in a division problem is called the divisor. So the divisor is dividing my dividend, okay? And then our answer, we've already kind of gone over this a little bit this year. The answer to our division problem is called the quotient. So we have the dividend, the divisor, and the quotient. So I'm going to be using these terms as we're going through our lessons because it's really important that we have that terminology in our brain. All right, jumping into our warm-up problem. So this is just a repeat from yesterday. When we are dividing, we can just cross out the zeros that these 2 numbers share. So in this case, they only share 1 0, technically, for number 1. So I have 720 divided by 8. Well, that's a basic division fact, and on your guys' chart here that I have provided for you guys, if I look at my 8, my divisor 8, and I scroll over until I find 72. Oh, there's 72. I go up, and that quotient's going to be 9. So 72 divided by 8 is going to get me 9, but there's 1 0 left over, so there has to be 1 0 in my answer. So 7,200 divided by 80 is going to give me 90. All right. There's another yawn sneaking up on me. I'm sorry, guys. Number 2, I have 3,000 divided by 50. Again, I'm going to start off by crossing out the zeros that they share. So now I have, this is a little tricky. Now I have 300 divided by 5. Well, if I look at my 5 times tables, and I go over, and I'm looking for just a 3, I'm not going to find anything because 5 does not go into 3. But as I keep going, I do notice it goes into 30. So I'm going to look at this as 30 divided by 5. And that is going to give me 6. So 30 divided by 5 is going to get me 6. Now there's only 1 0 left over, so I'm only going to have 1 0 here. Technically there are 2 zeros not crossed off here, but one of those zeros is connected to that 3 to make it a 30. So after I circled that 30, there's only 1 0 left over. Okay. Looking down at number 3, I'm going to cross out the zeros that they share. 8 divided by 2, well, I know 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4, and there are no zeros that are shared there. So that is our warm-up, okay, guys? Now I'm going to jump down. We're going to do an application problem this morning. Okay, we're going to do an application problem. You do not have to write this down if you do not want to. It's not my goal that you guys copy everything down. It's my goal that you guys focus on the math work. So for this particular problem, this application problem, you do not have to write that down. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And this is just going to kind of get us started with our concepts for today. So it says application problem. 852 pounds of grapes were packed equally into 3 boxes. How many pounds of grapes were in each box? Now again, Mrs. Duncan's strategy when we're working with number problems with math, to prevent our brains from getting all garbled up, okay, we're going to go in and we're going to circle the numbers and underline what it's asking us to do. So I have 852 pounds of grapes were packed equally into 3 boxes. Okay. Now it's asking me to see how many pounds of grapes were in each box. So I'm going in and I've annotated the story problem here to figure out what it is it wants me to do. Well, by now looking at what I've annotated, I have 852 pounds divided into 3 boxes. So I need to take 852 and I need to divide that by 3. Okay, now this is a little review from long division last year. We have not jumped into long division yet this year, so this might be a review. If you're not following along 100%, that is okay. I do not want you to panic. Okay, we're going to be going over long division more throughout the year, but this is just a starter. Okay, I do want you to write this part down with me. So I'm going to have 852, and I'm going to divide it by 3. So my dividend is 852, my divisor is 3, and I want to get my quotient. Okay. When I am dividing long division, I create what I call my house. So here is my little house. Okay. My dividend always goes inside of the house. My divisor always goes outside of the house. Now, I might run out of room here, so we might have to get a little creative with our spacing, but we're going to make it work. Okay, now, there is a saying or an acronym when we're doing long division, and it's does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers raw? Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers raw? Divide, multiply, subtract, carry, remainder. Okay, so we're going to start with the divide. Can 3 go into my 8? I'm just looking at that 8 right now. I'm not looking at 852. I'm just looking at that 8. Well, I know 3 can go into 8. It can go in there 2 times equally without going over, because 2 groups of 3 is going to get me 6. So now I'm on the multiply. 3 times 2 is going to get me 6. And now I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 6 is going to get me 2. Now I'm going to carry down this 5 right here. Now I'm going to start over. I'm going to divide. Can my 3 go into 25? Well, it can't. It can go in there equally 8 times, because now I'm going to multiply. 3 times 8 is going to get me 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. Okay, I told you I'm going to have to get a little creative with my spacing here, because I didn't give myself enough room. Okay. Now, I'm going to carry down my 2. Can 3 go into 12? Well, I know 3 can go into 12 exactly 4 times. Now I'm going to multiply. 3 times 4 is going to get me 12. Again, I'm kind of running out of room here. 12 minus 12 is going to get me 0. I do not have anything else to carry down. I do not have any remainders. So my final quotient is 284. So that means that how many pounds of grapes were in each box? In each box, there were 284 pounds of grapes. Okay, now this is the first time we've reviewed long division this year. Again, I do not want you guys to panic on me. Okay, we're going to be going over this the next couple of days. Do not stress. Okay, this was just an application problem, just applying the skill for you. Okay. All right, with that being said, now we're going to go into our concept development. So I would like you to do me a favor and write down what I have right here. If you need to pause it, please go ahead and do so. I want you guys to pause it if you need to. Okay? I do want you to write this down for me. All right, going ahead and getting started. Today we're going to be dividing, but I wanted to make it easy on you guys. I want to make this as easy as I possibly can. Okay, we're going to be dividing using estimation today. We're not going to be doing actual long division. We're going to be doing some estimation to make some division easy for us. Okay, we're going to try to make it as easy as possible, and we're just estimating. We're just getting close to the answer. We are not actually solving the problem. Okay, so I drew some little numbers and some tips up here for you guys to help you out. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So my dividend is 402. My divisor is 19. I still don't know that quotient. So I have 402 divided by 19. And this little chart is going to be your guys' best friend for today. Okay, there's a reason why I sent home these little charts for you that you guys have. Okay, let me see if I can zoom out so you can see it a little larger. There we go. These little charts are going to be your best friend as we're working through these problems today. All right, I want you to use estimation to turn all of our division problems into basic division facts, okay? You're turning all of these problems into basic division facts. Very, very basic, okay? Now, I drew these little numbers up here to help you throughout the process. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to round that divisor to the nearest 10 or the nearest group of 5 or group of 2, the nearest whole number that is going to be easily divisible or that you can easily divide into other factors. So I'm looking at that 19. That 19 is pretty close to 20. So I'm going to round that to 20. Again, where that 1 is, I'm putting my answer where the other 1 is. So 19 is pretty close to 20. So I'm going to round it to 20. Make it easy on myself. Now this is where this little chart is going to be helpful, okay? So looking at my 20, I'm going to say that's close to, I'm just going to call it 2 because I can take off that 0 and I can make that 20 into a 2 because up here I know that the zeros don't really matter, okay? So I'm going to round that into a 2. Now, what can one of these what can the dividend be rounded to that's easily divisible by 2? So I'm going to go and I'm going to look at my chart. I'm going to zoom in here for you guys. I'm going to look at my 2's, and I want to go over to see what I can round my 402 into to make it easily divisible. Well, I'm looking at my 2's, and I know, oh, 2 goes right into 4. So I can round that 402 to just 400. Okay? And now, oh, this is pretty similar to what I've done before. I can just cross out the zeros that they share. 2 can go into 4 2 times, and there's 1 0 left over. So my quotient is going to be approximately 20. Okay? So, again, we're just making it simple on ourselves. And you may look at these and round it a little differently than I am. That's okay. All right? Do not stress about rounding the exact way I am. It might change based on how you are rounding it, okay? All right, now we're going to turn our paper. Well, I have to turn my paper over. I don't know how you guys are doing with your spacing yet. We're going to do a few more of these problems together. Okay. All right, guys, I am running out of time on this video. I have about 13 minutes out of 15 total. I'm going to pause it. Please look for part 2.